Hey, everybody, welcome back to Beyond Beauty. We are excited to be back with you here today. On our last episode, we had a conversation about the whole I am. We've been talking a lot about, enoughness and the whole, what do they call it? The not enough syndrome, right? That a lot of women are experiencing, especially since the pandemic and coming out of the pandemic. And it was an amazing experience to be on that call with you the last time. But I think when we stopped recording and started to have like a whole other level of conversation is when the real conversation began. So today we wanted to come back and kind of circle back to that conversation and bring it forward. And I think that Danelle, like you hit on something in our last podcast that I think so many women are feeling right now or are starting to come out of. And that was the I am broken. And so I wonder if you might want to speak to that, as well as, since you shared that and we're vulnerable in sharing that, kind of how you've been feeling since then.
100%. Yeah, like that was a big, like rip the Band-Aid off and share this. And I think it was a surprise, right? And since then, like, I guess it's just like acknowledging it. Like, this is what, like going through I am, like that whole kind of activity, I guess, that we did. And since then, I've been able to, it's just like you face it and then you can start making those steps to come out of it, right? So I've been just doing what I kind of do that makes me happy, right? So I'm just giving myself some love and putting myself first. And I just notice a difference in my energy and stuff like that. Like it feels like, okay, I'm coming back, that energy within me is matching the outside, right?
And had you been like just kind of holding all of that in, and like you said, ripping off the Band-Aid, like in you actually stating and hearing you say yourself say those words, I am broken, like was that kind of the change, or had you been feeling that and just not verbalized it, and once you did, it made it real and then you had to deal with it?
For sure. I think it was saying it, and then what other people see is something completely different, right? So now it's like, okay, I have to face this now, right? Like it just was kind of a game changer for internally, right? So yeah.
And isn't that so interesting? Because that's kind of one of the reasons why the four of us wanted to do this, right? And having those real conversations, and with the hope that like we can normalize some of the conversations, as well as hope that this would inspire other women to perhaps be a little bit more vulnerable and start to talk about some of those things that we just keep stuffed inside, right? Because we do that really well as women.
Yeah, I think we go so numb that we're numb to ourselves. And once we can see that, I don't know how to explain it. Once you become aware that you're in a numb stage that we've all been in, you can, reassess how you feel, reassess what you're doing every day. I don't know how to say it. It's just been a numb feeling. Like I've been taking therapy. I've been going to therapy. I took therapy when I was 18, and kind of like that. I was like, I don't need this. I don't need to be here. And now that I accept it, like, yes, I need this. Yes, this is okay. Yes, I'm going to look at myself and be totally vulnerable and be like, I'm going to take whatever comes at me, even though it's myself and you think you know everything that's going on. And then when you get it put in your face, like, it's okay. it's okay. And I am breaking down in therapy. Like, I actually cried the other week, and I never thought, just listening to myself talk, that that would happen. I think it's the most
And was it
difficult to
that
look at
same
ourselves.
thing as Janelle? Like once you actually heard yourself saying those words,
Yeah.
then it kind of became real, right? Because
Yeah.
when I think when we kind of stuff it in, then we just kind of like keep it below the surface, right? And keep it at a place where we really don't have to look at it.
For
Yeah.
sure.
It's kind of like a mountain of, if we keep poking at it, eventually it's just going to burst open, instead of
Right.
taking care of it when it's at an even keel. You can take care of yourself, but you let everything build up, and eventually you're going to just explode. So it's
Yeah.
like taking care of yourself gradually,
Yeah.
like knowing I'm enough, knowing that I matter, knowing that I should take care of myself. Like, I'm allowed to do that. That is tough to say and do as a wife, a mom, and everything, to say that, you know what, it's okay to take care of myself and not just my children.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what like you're demonstrating and modeling such goodness for your kids too, right? That
Yeah.
when they see you making yourself a priority and taking care of yourself, then that shows them like, I mean, that's such a gift that you're giving them, I think.
And even other women get to see that, like at the school, showing them it's okay. It's okay to take care of myself. You know, if one woman can do it, I can do that too. It's kind of just like I'm gonna get in line for what she's doing, because I see that she's doing the work, and that's okay. I do that for myself. Just like my kids, it's mom's really taking care of herself, and that allows everyone around you to know that that's okay to do, instead of putting yourself on the
Well,
back
and it's
burner.
important, right? It's essential because you can't, and I know it's kind of that cliche, but you can't pour from the empty cup. Yet, as women, we do. That kind of just seems to be where we pour from, because sometimes there's just nothing left to pour.
Yeah.
And so, good on both of you for, stating those things and kind of making the unsaid said, because it's not by keeping it inside that you start to do the work and process things and go through it, right? Like work through it. When we keep it inside, then it's just always there. But when we fight physically or whatever, let it out verbally, then that is where the healing can start.
And we can heal like generations of put a stop to, like you say, what do our children see? Or like we talk about, so many women feel the same way we do. If I can't remember, we were talking about you before, Tracy, the last time, and just what was our conversation about? About hiding how you feel, and feeling I'm good enough, and feeling bad that we feel that way when we see other women stuck.
Yeah. You have that guilt. It's almost like survivor guilt. Yeah. I remember that conversation. Yeah. That there was, I forget what it was, but it was something I saw on social media. And it was all of these, we're talking about COVID and coming out of COVID and stuff. And, to share your experience of women, and if, you we're thriving during COVID, then please share that too, because we kind of need that other aspect, because all we've heard about is the struggles, right? And I wanted to share, and I couldn't, because I saw this whole thread of women who were just hurting and were in such pain. And I thought, who am I to get on right now and say, actually, as a matter of fact, I'm doing great. And life for me was great during COVID. I had such guilt around that when I saw how much pain other women were in.
Well, you're an inspiration.
Right.
Yeah,
Sure.
I didn't say that. It just, I think it's just more years, maybe more years of living and more things I've lived through that, yeah, just maybe a different way to process things, with different way to look at things. I have no idea.
For sure. But it kind of balances, like I just see this scale, and it's like, you need certain people, right, in life. Like you need artists and you need engineers and stuff. It's kind of that same on emotional level, right? Like you need someone who's thriving and people who are working, and it's just like that going up, right? I don't know if that makes sense.
No, that totally
But-
makes sense. And I love that. Yeah, I love that. I
Yeah,
love that analogy.
because even Christelle, like your experience and like talking about settling, having time with your family and stuff, and I don't know, like I don't know, it's
So I think, excuse me, lady, because I think today my brain is like this, and I want to be sure to understand correctly all that you say, because it is really, really interesting. That I realize that even if we live in a modern life, I realize we are always still on this opinion that a woman is quiet, works, and take care kids. And when I talk with you, when you, Tracy, Dinelle, ID, when you talk about your life, I am not surprised for bad thing, but I am surprised with exciting, because our life is really interesting, in fact, and even is not it's a good thing. We look like ordinary, and sometimes it seems to be boring, but it's in fact not at all. And it's necessary, I realize with this conversation, it's necessary to share our vision, our experience, our life, because we stay with an opinion, wrong opinion about you, about me, and we stay with a fear and a thought where, I am broken, but I am a bad girl, but you, Dinelle, you are better than me because you are blonde. You, Tracy, you are better than me because I don't know why, because you live in a beautiful town, but it's wrong thing, because the real life, your real lives are more rich, interesting, and your experience, your life, as I just said, is a way to me to open my eyes and think, oh, but it's okay to do that. It's okay to be like that. It's okay to be to struggle. It's okay to be tired. It's okay to be exciting, to be strong, you see. And I think when we talk about together, we give permission, but it's not the right way, but we give permission to other women to be like that, to try something new, to be not beauty, to be sometimes hungry, not hungry, you see. And voila. And for example, for my part, when I heard you, I think I realized I am a simple brain, because I don't think of me all the time. I think about to thing I want to have, not about, I don't think about who am I. I think about material thing. And I realize it's the wrong way for me, because it's not the food for my life. the real food, the good food for my life. Sorry for my English, sorry, but it's to
no, it makes perfect
to well, yes, to talk with other women, because the life, television, cinema show always women who are in competition together. But is the one more important thing I learned with you, with Lam Life, with you, Tracy. We are not in competition. We need to be together, to talk, to support together, to be better, and to realize our strong, you see. And in fact, I think I am a lucky woman in my life. I am a lucky woman because my life is easy. My life is good. My life is sweet. And even when I'm sad because this life, sometimes my life is good. And to be here with you is for me a success, because to speak English was one on my dream. You see, to speak with other women over the country was one on my dream. And today, before to start this conversation with you, I realized that, every week I can talk with international women in different continent country like that. And for that, so okay, sometimes I suffer, and I don't want to use your pain to feel good, you see. But when you share your pain with me, with us, I say, okay, finally we become stronger after. And I like that.
I love
100%. Yeah. Like I'm tearing up because I'm just like, I can feel that energy, and like I can't wait till one day we're all in the same room, and I love you. I could give you, like, I just want to give you a hug and just, yes. And it's a feeling. I could even see Heidi, and
like, I see you, you know, like, you matter. Like, I know just that connection. Yeah.
And
it's beautiful.
And my hope for all women is that they have their women, that they have those women that they can be vulnerable with and real and raw with, and really just be able to be and not worry about being judged and criticized or anything. Just have those friends, those people that are there for them and with them through thick and thin. And that actually, the more kind of we all peel back the layers, the closer we get, is how I feel.
Yeah, I agree. I think my advice would be for women is, no matter how hard it is, like, tell another woman, even though you may not feel the best that day, like, tell another woman, like, I am here. It is okay. You know, like, if you need to talk, I'm here, or I love your outfit, or like, you're amazing and you don't see that, but I do. Even though we might not see that in ourselves some days, like, it goes so far to see not just a woman, anyone, like, I see you. And be like, for real. Yeah.
And I think that at the end of the day, that's all that any of us want, right? Is just to be seen, to be validated, valued, loved, but just like, see me.
Absolutely.
Permission to see ourselves. Yeah.
Exactly. And just, like, start talking and talking to people that you see out and about, because we've been so isolated. I shouldn't say that, like, everybody, but like, coming all out of this, we've been very isolated. So it's like that cashier or something, actually looking at them and being like, how are you today? Because it's just autopilot when they're, how are you? And it's just that non kind of conversation. But to actually, like, tune in, I think is going to shift that energy, which we need to, like, make some rumblings in the world.
Yeah, yeah, we
Yeah.
need that ripple, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think that this will be a great segue into our next one, because I love that idea of like, as you're out and about, and just because I'm in North America, especially, right? It's like, hey, how are you? Right. But to genuinely mean it versus it just being a salutation, kind of, because that's just kind of what we do. Hey, how's it going? Hey, how are you? But do we ever really stop to hear what they say? Or do they ever really respond, you know? And so to be more mindful, I guess, in that, I love that. So let's try that. Let's be more intentional with that ourselves. And I know, Heidi, you always are anyways, like you really do see people. And I love that about you. You really, really, really do. So that is definitely an inspiration for all of us to be more mindful in that way. And I think that's a great place to start as we see people throughout our day, like genuinely, I see you. How are you doing? And I love that. Yeah. Any other tips or advice before we sign off for today?
Feel your energy. No,
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
For sure.
All right,
Yeah.
ladies, thanks for being part of my virtual life today, my virtual world, and just have so much love for the three of you. And just I'm so happy to be on this journey with you all, and for your friendship and your strength and your love and just everything you are as women, amazing, extraordinary women. Thank you.
ciao.
Thank you. Okay.
Ciao.
Bye.
Right back at you.
Exactly.